How you doing on your homework today, son?
It's number 3 on my calc homework, Dad. Just can't get it.
Well, you know what? I noticed on your headline your calculus grade isn't that great. So, I'm a math whiz, so I'm going to help you out with this calculus homework.
Thanks, Dad. You are the best dad ever.
And Education Today starts now!
Welcome to Education Today. I'm Rachel Ebig of Katanning High School in the Armstrong School District. We all know that students are sent to school to learn about the important subjects that will play crucial roles in their lives at some point down the road, whether that be given background knowledge for a college education or directly related to what they go on to do in life. School is not an easy place for students all the time, and many factors can affect a student's progress. Parents and their students' home lives can serve a crucial role of students' development in school. That part can be from helping students work with schoolwork to simply aware with what's going on in the kids' lives. Tonight, we're going to talk about what parents can do to become part of their students' lives and how they can make sure that they are aware of what's happening, good and bad. To talk with us tonight about this topic, we have guidance counselors David Zablocki and Corinne Linkus. Welcome to Education Today. Would you please introduce yourselves for our viewers and tell us how long you've been with this district?
I'm Corinne Linkus. I'm one of the counselors at Katanning Senior High School, and I've been in the district at Katanning High School for 7 years.
And my name's David Zablocki. I've been in the district for 7 years, also in the capacity of a guidance counselor, both in the junior high and as well as elementary level.
Oh, so you guys work together most of the time while you're
We
here?
collaborate together on a lot of things, yeah.
Oh, okay. What kind of impact can parents' involvement have in their students' lives?
Tremendous. Parent involvement is key in a student's success, from being aware of social things, personal aspects of a student's life, as well as classes, grades, school, and the different choices that the child's made, whether it be socially or academically.
Oh, okay.
I can speak for the elementary level. I think it's paramount that parents are involved with their students, academic, what's going on in the classroom and so on and so forth, getting to know the teachers. Those are basically the foundation years for those students, and it's important for kids to understand that their parents are involved with them.
So if the kids are having trouble in school, their parents can help them with homework and stuff like that?
Absolutely. I think it's even more important when the kids aren't having trouble in school that the students know that the parents want to be there for them too. But yeah, that way when the trouble does arise, the lines of communication are opened up already.
I'm sure you guys have many insights and tips into how parents can be more involved with their students. Can you mention some?
Some of the most important ways I think parents could be involved, a big one is to check EdLine. I know at least like at the junior high school level, to make sure that they are aware of the grades that are due, projects, as sometimes teachers put homework assignments and projects out there or on blogs. So trying to be aware of different things through EdLine, blogs, my homework site, whatever it might be, to know what's due, how it's due. Participate in back to school nights or open houses, and also parent-teacher conferences. Even if a student's doing well, sometimes it's nice to come and check in with the teachers, meet them, open those, as Mr. Zablocki said, open those lines of communication.
Do you have any views on that?
Yeah, at the elementary level, we definitely encourage our parents to come in and visit during open house nights at the very least, and also check EdLine as well. We have our teachers utilizing EdLine, and some of them put their lesson plans on, some of them aren't able to do that, and at the elementary level, those are typically the ways that we try to get our parents involved.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's start with back to school nights. What is benefit to parents who attend?
I think at the senior high level, it's a little maybe different than sometimes the experiences at the elementary, but at least at the high school level, it gets the parents a chance to become familiar with the building, the staff, the teachers. They have a chance to walk through their child's schedule. So I think it's important to see what their child does on a daily basis, the type of teachers, where they're at in the buildings. It just provides an extra level of familiarity, and again opens those lines of communication. Open house isn't a time so much to discuss specific issues, but it's a good time to just become familiar, introduce, and again, just to kind of make sure that everybody's on the same page and working together for the student's best interest. So nights like that really help to make those introductions.
Yeah, it's kind of stressful for students when they're not sure where they're at in the school or where they're going next. That's why they kind of have to look at their schedules a lot.
Absolutely.
At the elementary level, when it comes to back to school nights, the kids at they're very excited because they get to show parents their artwork that they did in class or some of the writings that they did in class. They're very excited. That's the biggest difference I think that I've noticed between the high school level and the secondary level and the elementary level. And parents are actually more nervous, I think, at the elementary level than they are, especially first-time parents with our kindergartners. By the time some of their children go up to the grades, they become kind of pros at coming in and visiting our teachers. And what's nice also is putting a face with a name. They may know the teacher's name that their child has, but they're not just familiar with who they are really, and it is kind of nice. Even though it's not an opportunity for specific questions for grades and etc. There's an opportunity for that later on in the year, but it's just nice to put a face with a name.
What benefit does this serve the teachers?
Same as it would for the parent. I think it's just kind of on the other side of the table. For the teachers, it's nice to meet the parents. Again, you open those lines of communication and introductions, and sometimes teachers will offer at open house their information. Maybe they have, like we said before, the blog sites, or they have certain pages that they utilize or information they want to give, their email. So again, sometimes it's just nice because it provides that introduction to the parent, allows the teacher to explain to the parent what's expected in the class, how to contact them. So again, provides that introduction, provides that openness of communication, and kind of paves the road, hopefully, for a smoother year. Or again, as we said, if problems do arise, an easy way to exchange and share information.
Yeah, in case they're having trouble in school.
Right.
At the elementary level, it's the same as what just Ms. Link has just mentioned, but and more importantly, I'm sure you probably remember elementary school whenever you had a few more celebrations or parties. That gives the parents an opportunity to see, and the kids really like to sign up for Valentine's Day or for the holiday party or some of the celebrations, so they get to bring a snack or something like that. So that gets that out of the way. It may seem a little different, but that's an important time for parents to sign up for those kind of things, as well as talk to the parents and the teachers are able to talk with the parents and just open lines of communication, let them know who they are and things like that.
Yeah, I'm sure parents feel very proud of their kids once they see their artwork and all their schoolwork. Do these nights help benefit the students at all, and are they invited in with their parents as well?
Sure, students are always welcome, and I know, again, probably a little different at the elementary level where perhaps they're showing off some artwork or some projects or things. But at the high school too, this year, probably more than ever, I think we had a larger response for our open house, which was wonderful, and there were a lot of students that were there with the parents. The benefit to the student, again, you open those lines of communication which benefit the teacher and the parent, but also for the student, and then the student is aware that, hey, you guys are all on the same page. So sometimes it's nice that you all know as students that we all communicate too. And sometimes that helps to maybe head off any problems, or to know that if there are problems, everybody's working together for your benefit because we're all here for you. So hopefully that helps the student to understand that and appreciate that.
Yeah, it's good to have a good relationship between the parents and teachers.
Absolutely.
Yeah, at the elementary level, definitely, I would say, and secondary, those relationships are the most important thing, I think, and for kids to understand that, it's a common. Two people are working for a common goal, or two groups of people, teachers and parents are both working for a common goal, which is meaning the child's education. So the biggest benefit, we do have our students come with our parents, and we encourage that, and they are, it's very important, I think, for the students to come with their parents, to show them around the building, because it shows some pride. The kids take a great deal of pride, especially at a young age, when they want to show the gym, they want to show the cafeteria, they want to show them all these things. So it's really neat.
Where everything goes
on.
Oh,
it's really neat to see these young kids do those things. So.
Well, realizing you can only speak with your individual schools, what kind of attendance do you typically see during these evenings?
Our open house nights, usually there's not a very large attendance. I think there's a difference too. Again, I think there's a very big difference, as we've already defined, between elementary types of open houses and a high school. This year, though, we had a greater turnout than I've ever seen at an open house, which was very nice. And I went in the hall and spent about an hour just talking with parents as they were walking through, working on their child's schedule. So it was really nice to see parents there, to see students there, And it was nice because there were a few things that, oh, hey, I needed to talk to you, so it gave me a nice chance to talk with some of them. So I was really pleased this year with our turnout at open house. It's better than it's been. I wish it were greater yet, but this year was better than it had been.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, coming from the secondary level and going to the elementary level 2 years ago, I wasn't sure what to expect, but it's a very busy time at the elementaries. At least at West Hills, Lenape Elementary, those are the schools that I service. It's a huge opportunity for parents to come in, and they capitalize on that opportunity. The overwhelming majority of our parents do come in. They really make a point. It's difficult because a lot of parents at those young ages, they have kids in sports who aren't able to drive themselves, and
It's a good time to get out all the concerns they
yeah,
may have.
absolutely, yeah. Or clarify some things that they're unsure of. You know, coming home in those early days, they get a lot of papers in the book bags and they're unsure, and it's able to, a lot of clarification happens during those open house nights.
As counselors, do you benefit in any way during these evenings?
Oh, greatly. Again, just to cite an example at ours this year, I spent about an hour, I think, right outside the office and just talked to several parents as they came through. We tried to get some information out this year. We had the Drug and Alcohol Commission who had a table there to provide information to parents if they'd be so interested. In the past, I've set up almost like a little mobile guidance office and had papers on scholarships or different programs that were out there. I got so busy talking to folks this year, I didn't even get a chance to get it out there, which is really a good, not a problem, but a good problem to have. So we benefit from it in making the communications with the parents, and again allows us to open those lines of communication, which are very beneficial and important.
At the elementary level, likewise, it's a huge benefit to be able to put, again, face with a name. They may hear the name Mr. Zablocki, but parents don't really, and they may hear the name guidance counselor, but they may not really. I think it's a huge benefit to put a face with a name in case they need to call or anything like that, or if they see something come home with my name on it, they understand, you know, why it's coming home and things like that. So.
Or to like come and talk to you guys if
Absolutely.
there have any bullying problems or
Absolutely.
problems with people during school.
Yeah.
Yes.
Any kind of problems. I know a lot of our parents. I see them in the morning when they drop their kids off, and you know, there's a lot of issues that I talk to parents about in the morning like that too. And it's a little bit more. They feel more comfortable, I think, after open house that, you know, that they can come and approach me and what topics to approach me with and stuff. So.
It's a great thing to have guidance counselors at school in case you need someone to talk to.
We think so.
Thank you.
Is there a noticeable difference noticed in students whose parents attend these evenings from students' parents who may not attend?
I've not noticed a drastic difference, and a lot of times the parents that come to those are the parents that normally stay in very good communication anyway. It'd be nice to see some parents that maybe we don't get to see as often or don't talk to as often there, but it's always wonderful to see those that are there and communicate with them, and oftentimes that information tends to trickle out and things that you talk about. So sometimes it does, you know, hey, you talked to Rachel's mom at open house about this. I'm interested in that too because maybe your mom talked to someone else. So again, sometimes it just fosters that communication.
At the elementary level, at my level, I wouldn't say that I have I think there is a noticeable difference, but it's tough to put my finger on it because when an issue arises at such a young age, no matter if a parent came to open house or not, a lot of times younger children vocalize things a lot quicker as opposed to kids at the secondary level. So I think those issues, if they don't open the lines of communications at those open house nights, I think sooner or later if something's going on that the child's uncomfortable with, parents will call. But I think it's important also to have those kids there just to see some of the work that the kids do and let their children know that, hey, you know, I really want to be involved in your education.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thanks very much for your time. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back with Armstrong School District Education Today.
Before I came to IUP, I had no idea what college would be like or what role I would play or where I'd be in the future. But when I came to IUP, everything changed. I met people who really made me feel like I belonged. I had great classes at a great nationally ranked university. Hi, my name is Megan Miller. I'm a fine arts major, and this is my university.
We're back with the Armstrong Armstrong School District's Education Today. We're talking about the importance of parent involvement in their students' lives with Dave Zablocki and Corinne Linkus, two of the district's guidance counselors. Let's move on to another topic. I know that it can be sometimes challenging for parents to help their kids with schoolwork, but is there a benefit to them working with their kids?
Well, sure, as much as possible, it helps the parents to be aware of the different projects and assignments and what their kids are working on. It provides some follow-up and follow-through for the students, so that way there's not so much an excuse that, well, I didn't get it done or I didn't know. If the parents are following through with it, even if they can't do the work, because I know I couldn't maybe do some of the math that you guys do, but at least if the parent is following up to making sure that it's completed, it really helps to benefit the students' success and make sure that they're understanding and getting their work done.
Yeah, my mom's always on me like that. She's like, did you do this homework? I'm like, yes.
That's good.
Yeah, at the elementary level, it's really important. I know I have 3 children in the elementary school right now, and it's good for, I think it's, number one, it's good for parents to stay up to date with them, because kids at that age can't do it themselves. When they come home a lot of times, even though they just learned it in school, the retention rate for some kids in kindergarten through 3 or kindergarten through 6 even just isn't there. Another thing is, a lot of times kids will come home and they're just unsure of how to do it again, and sometimes parents are unsure of how to do it again. But if they're able to sit down and look at the book, and for the child to know that the parent's right next to them in the learning process, mom doesn't know, dad doesn't know, and neither do I, but letting the kid know, or letting the child know that you're going to work with them and work together with them, I think that that's very important for kids to know that, hey, mom and dad don't know everything sometimes.
Well, they're not at school with them.
That's
so
right.
They have to tell them.
That's right.
Another important topic is the parents need to be aware of social media. Can you speak a little bit about that?
Social media has been such an explosion in the last few years. I know since I've become a counselor, even the proliferation of social media has just exponentially grown. I think it's very important for parents to be well aware of what accounts their children have, to be very careful, monitor them, be on the lookout for anything that seems unusual, concerning, and making sure that children understand, and young adults, because I say children, but those in high school, that what you put out on the internet, you think you deleted, it can still be there. Employers are looking for it, they will find it. Colleges are looking for it, they will find it. You think you make things as private as you can, they will find it, and they are looking for those things very actively. And we're hearing more and more stories about people not being offered jobs or admissions because of things that are discovered on social media. So my strong advice is to be very, very cautious of what your child has out there. Make sure that you know it, and make sure that your child understands the impact and the consequences of what they may have posted on social media.
Oh, okay.
Fortunately for me, most of our first, or K through 3 in our primary school, and also our 4 through 6, our kids don't get involved in it too much. There are times whenever some of our 5th and 6th graders do get involved. And I do make parents aware. I call them and let them know that the age limit specifically for Facebook is 14. It's my understanding that I was told by the Attorney General of Pennsylvania. So I do encourage parents to definitely to keep their kids off of that. I don't think at any point in time at that age it's important for those kids to have those kind of things going on, because it's elementary. It's a struggle enough for some kids, and I think it's better off keeping them away from social media at that point in time is a good thing. Now, there's a time and place for everything, and fortunately, for my sake, it's not at the elementary level. So.
Well, I mean, there wouldn't be really anything for them to talk about
Correct.
on there.
Yeah.
Of course, kids don't want their parents always monitoring them, but can you give any tips on how parents may inquire about something they've heard or seen?
Talk with their child. Have frank, open discussions. This is what I suspect, this is what I've heard. I think sometimes parents are afraid to be very forward and confront the issues, and you have to. Mm-hmm. And again, students have to understand that things like this aren't done simply to try to make your life so much more difficult. It's because somebody cares and is looking out and is concerned for your welfare or that of someone else. And if something has seen, I've received calls where a parent has found something on their child's Facebook that maybe somebody else had posted that was extremely concerning. So they've called us because sometimes they don't know what else to do. So they'll call the counselors and say, direct me, what do I need to do, what do we need to do? And we try to mobilize people that can intervene if it's a very urgent situation or handle things appropriately. But I would, my biggest tips are just to be very open, honest, and if your child's willing, if it were my child, I would probably have every password. Students may not want to hear that, but I would be checking those things very, very carefully. Again, not to try to give anyone a hard time, but understanding there are some very serious consequences that I don't think students always truly understand and appreciate, and we hear it from the Attorney General, the state police, colleges, employers. So we try to help students understand too, there are serious consequences, be careful.
Sometimes people post stuff without thinking about it, and then it's just kind of...
And we're in an instant world where you can snap it on your smartphone and you can put it right to the internet. All you have to do is hit a button on your smartphone, I think, because I don't have Facebook, and it goes right to your Facebook or your Twitter, Instagram, whatever, and that's very, very dangerous. So you have to be very, very careful.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. My number one thing is being direct with your children. Whether they're elementary age or secondary age, sit down and have a conversation with them. I think that's the most important. They have to understand that you're having a conversation, that they're not being grilled, they're not being put under under fire here. Parents truly have to show genuineness in wanting to know what their kids are doing for their own safety, for their own good. Just because, just like you said, Ms. Linkus, sometimes kids, whether it be elementary or secondary, senior high, doesn't matter. They may think one thing, but with parents and their knowledge, and just throughout their lives, they've learned things, and they want to make sure their kids are okay. So be very direct and be curious. Parents need to be curious about what they're doing.
It's good for them to be involved.
Yeah. I want to trust my own kids. I have 4 of them, and I want to trust them. But you can't take their word for granted all the time,
So if students present a concern in school, what programs does the district offer for support?
Well, we as counselors are sometimes the first line of defense and can have conversations with students about any concerns. The schools are also mandated to have a SAP team, and SAP stands for Student Assistance Program. It's a state program that's a team of teachers, counselors, nurses, principals, that can identify student concerns or barriers to student success. And we work with some liaisons out in the community, as well with parents and students, to try to resolve any concerns that may be presented. Those are some of the bigger programs that we do in the school to try to provide some support. So we try to, as counselors, also with the SAP team, and we communicate with parents as needed and warranted and necessary. We have confidential conversations, but sometimes there are things that we cannot keep confidential and have to get parents or some other people involved with us.
And the same goes with the elementary level. We have another layer on top of the Student Assistance Program is a secondary version. The educational support services at the elementary level. On top of that, we have another layer. It's called the Response to Intervention, RTI process. And we contact parents through that process. They are part of the process. It's a multi-step process. Once they get to this a certain step, parents are contacted. But we keep close eye on students and their behaviors and their academic concerns and things like that.
So most is confidential until a certain point, once it kind of gets out of hand.
Yeah, absolutely. There are certain conversations that we do need to share with people, and there are certain conversations that we have with students that we're able to maintain confidentiality with.
What other kinds does the district offer? Like programs such as Edline?
Edline's a wonderful program. Helps students and parents stay aware of the grades, be aware of the homework assignments. That way if a parent wants to know if you've turned in a homework assignment, he or she can often go to Edline and see that, no, you may have said you turned it in, but it's not there yet, which maybe then facilitates a conversation with the teacher or trying to see where maybe there's the disconnect. So Edline's been a very useful tool with that. The district, we try to put a lot of things on our websites. The district hosts a lot of informational nights for parents. We've done some on the SAP team process. We did an informational session last year on that. So there's a lot of different parent nights and parent events that try to disseminate some information, keep parents aware. So
That's good.
there's a lot of things that we try to do to help parents be very aware of the types of supports that are offered in the school, both academic or personal, so that the parents, again, are aware, keeping that communication and that conversation with us, and work together for the best success of every student.
Yeah. At the elementary level, the EdLine process is the same as the secondary. And on top of that, we have PTOs where parents are involved through that too, and they're able to you know, for the success of the school, have a lot of things going on through PTOs to help out kids as well. So we do a lot of those things. Plus, parent-teacher conferences I think are very important, and they're very well attended during those times too.
Especially during, especially the younger grades.
Yeah, definitely.
I understand the district offers financial aid nights. What are those, and why are they important?
Each of the 3 high schools host a financial aid night. Katanning High School and Fort City, said ours, is on the same night. It's Thursday, October 10th, and West Shimokins is in December. I can't recall the date offhand. These sessions are done by a financial aid expert. At least I can speak for Katanning. We have the regional director of the state financial aid agency come, presents an overview of the financial aid process, terms and definitions, how to apply, what things mean, and can answer specific questions. These presentations are generally pretty short, very direct, and again, it's nice because if you do have questions, they can help to answer those. So the financial aid nights, especially for parents and students that are juniors and seniors, are very, very important. And again, I know I appreciate them because it gives me a chance sometimes to meet parents I've not yet met before. It helps to start the conversation about the transition from, you know, high school into college and the different things that we need to do and work with. So they're a very beneficial event, and I would encourage, if you can't attend one of them, you're welcome to attend another school, so hopefully parents could try to make it to some event like that.
And at the elementary level, we don't have financial aid nights quite yet, although parents, I'm sure, are concerned about how they're going to pay for their child's education, starting at kindergarten nowadays with the cost of college and post-secondary education being so expensive. But nothing yet. We haven't gotten involved with that yet.
We both do have a lot of access to information, though,
Absolutely.
For parents of younger students to figure out how to start those processes and things. So parents could always contact the high school counselors, the elementary counselors, to at least perhaps get started on that process.
So is there anything else you guys would like to cover?
One aspect that's very important to me that Mr. Zablocki alluded to already is parent-teacher conferences. I think it's very crucial that parents try to attend the parent-teacher conferences. As we talked about back-to-school nights and open houses, those are a nice introduction, but those are not the forum in which to have a specific conversation about concerns with the student or problems in class. The parent-teacher conferences are designed for that time. The parent and teacher can have a confidential, private conversation about concerns either with the student or class, good or bad. It's not always that you have to go into conferences simply because your child is having a problem. Perhaps you just want to get to know the teacher, understand what's coming up in class, or maybe you have questions about what this would do in the future. So,
or if the student's doing really well.
Exactly.
And you just want to let them know.
That's exactly right. And it's nice, too, sometimes parents go in to show appreciation to a teacher and say, Rachel has loved your class, she's learned so much, I just want to thank you for all that you've done for her. And that has happened, too. But I wish that more parents would take advantage of conferences. Oftentimes students are doing poorly in classes and they know that. I understand not all parents can get to conferences with work schedules and travel, but as much as possible I would urge them to try to do that, or at least schedule a phone conference during those times to address any concerns so that, again, we're all working together and on the same page to help support student success.
Well, that's our show for today. I'd like to thank our guests, Dave Zablocki and Corinne Linkus, both guidance counselors, for taking time out of their busy schedules to give us an insight into why it's important for parents to be involved with their students. Our thanks also goes out to the TV production students of Katanning High School, led by their teacher, Mr. Don Swanson. They were our film crew today. Please join us again next week for another look at Armstrong School District. Visit our website, updated information about districts, and have a great week.